Hi guys, it's Allison here and I am back with another Halloween layout. And this time I am getting messy. So I have there a piece of black cardstock and I haven't pulled out any other supplies just yet except this piece of black cardstock, my gesso, and a whole bunch of Mr. Huey mists. I do have my photos and they are of the outside of our house on Halloween night, and specifically the pumpkins that we carved. Because I think the girls did a really good job of carving the pumpkins last year. So my mists are all in shades of yellow and orange, and I want to use the highly technical packaging smooshing technique of getting that color on there. But I know I need to gesso it, and the reason that I have used a piece of black cardstock instead of white was just to give it some darkness. I feel like if I had used white cardstock and then gessoed and misted on top of it, it would have been a much lighter layout. And I wanted that that dark feel so that this sort of spooky Halloween feel that I want for this layout will come out. So what you see me doing there is spraying the mist onto just a Ziploc bag and then sort of smooshing it into the gesso. And I had dried the gesso with my heat gun, just like I'm drying all the mist here with my heat gun. And one of my mists didn't spray anymore. The nozzle's all gummed up, so I had just dropped it on the page and then smooshed it around. And I've added like a bunch of orange and yellows and then a little bit of gold, but the Mr. Huey gold does not show up super well. And in one of the smooshing incidents, I got that harsh line of the edge of the plastic bag. So I know that that's basically where I'm going to put my photos and everything else. Okay, so you just saw a whole pile of stuff that I had put on top of my layout, and I basically went into my scrap drawer to look for some papers, and I came across a stack of orange and yellow strips mostly, that I had used on another layout, and they kind of spoke to me, so I just grabbed the whole stack of them. And then a few other things. This sort of triangular piece with the gold and white stripes on it was speaking to me, and then I have some tissue paper. And I've used that on another layout and I kind of like it, so I'm going to see if I can use it on this one. So now I'm just trimming all the yellow and orange strips and finding an arrangement that I like. I also have pulled out some black paper. It's like I think it was in my mind's eye, their Chalk Studio line maybe, because it, or no, I think it was a Christmas line, but it was basically a chalkboard look. And I tried it, but I didn't like it with all the orange and sort of lightness that was going on. I know I've just contradicted myself saying I wanted it to be sort of dark, but I felt like adding a black cardstock and then even that green that I had in there was weighing it down too much. So I did trim my painted and misted black cardstock. I took 1/2 inch off two sides. So I need a 12 by 12 to frame it in the background. And so that's what you saw me doing. I just grabbed my stack of orange papers. That's how I sort my papers, is by color. And I just basically found one that I liked and stopped there and put the rest of them back. And this is Simple Stories. And the back side is, I think, a chevron maybe? It's black and white or something like that. But I really liked how the orange worked with all the orange I have going on the page. So that's why I chose the orange side. So now I'm just getting everything adhered, and I took the tissue paper and I basically got 4 layers of it behind the photo, and I stapled them together using not a tiny attacher, because I don't own a tiny attacher, but a very ancient tiny stapler that I think used to belong to my mom. So it's probably technically an antique, but it gets the job done. And then I've just used double-sided tape to adhere my photos on top. And I think I've put some tape on the back of that. Yeah, I have. And then I just get the tape on my paper strips, and I've done away with that triangular piece of gold and white. It was kind of fighting everything. And I'm just stuck with the yellow and orange strips of paper. but you will notice that I have covered up that awkward sort of solid line that I got from the packaging. So now I am trying to figure out where everything else is going to go on the page, because I normally, when I start a layout, I have a little bit more of a plan than I did when I started this one. So I'm really just kind of winging it. And I think I'm going to put my journaling to the left, so that's why I have put the title over to the right, and I grabbed some black chipboard stickers and some orange chipboard stickers. And once again, I did not check to make sure that I had all the letters that I needed. I thought I had them all, but I was missing a Y for the word truly. So I just took an X and trimmed off one of the bottom lines, and it now looks like a Y. And then I've got some orange puffy stickers. I do not have a lot of orange letter stickers, gotta say. I might need to make some purchases there. And then I had cut a whole lot of black spider webs a long time ago, and I thought I went looking for them. I thought I had saved them, but I've obviously chucked them, or I've hidden them so well I don't know where they are. But I did come across these pinked circles in black that I had cut for another project. So I think that I can use these as embellishment areas. I don't want a ton of embellishment on this because I really do want all the mixed media that's going on in the background to be the star of this layout. But I like this sort of scattering on the diagonal with the black. I like those, the pops of the black. I feel like it helps to really ground the layout and keep it more dark and mysterious, I think, than using white or orange or something. And then I have a package of Halloween brads. Once again, that's the other thing too. I went looking for my Halloween stash and I don't seem to have one. So either I have hidden it very well from myself or I got rid of it at some point. But I do have this set of Halloween brads. So I'm pulling out several. The one down at the bottom is a handy little banner, and I quite like it down there. And then I'm just adding basically one to each of those pinked circles. And I sort of fiddle around. The one by the journaling, I am not adding anything to yet because I feel like it needs something else. So I'm going to hold off on adding a brad there just now and then wait and see if I can find something else. And then I've only got this one orange brad down at the bottom that was in that banner. So I do need to add orange somewhere else, and I think the best place to add it is by the journaling. But like I said, I feel like I want something else. So the only other Halloween thing that I could find in my stash was this set of stickers. I think they are Simple Stories. And I pull off this spiderweb sticker and I put it down, and I like it, but it's hiding my pink circle, and I really want to have that that hit of black up there too. So I fix that by cutting the spiderweb in half, and then I can add my brad and the pink circle and everything, and then I have another spot to add the other half of the spiderweb, and it makes me much happier. The spiderweb, by the way, has all these tiny little cutout details, which took a long time to remove all those little bits of sticker. And then there was a couple of word strip stickers on that sheet as well, so I've added those. And my finishing touch is some orange gems. I just wanted a little bit of glitter, I guess you could say. And I didn't want enamel dots, I really wanted gems. So I was happy to find those in my stash. And I'm just adding a little bit more adhesive between the layers of tissue because I feel like the photos had sort of slid to the left a little bit, and I wanted to make sure that they stayed straight up and down on the layout. Okay, so there we go, we're all done. Here are the close-ups, and you can see all the little details there that I've added to those pink circles. I think those circles really add a lot to this layout. They help move your eye around the page, and yeah, I think that was sort of a genius find. Okay, thanks for joining me, guys, and I will see you again soon. Bye!